We're on Eruvin, Perek Gimel, Mishnah Chet. In our last Mishnah, we discussed the idea of having 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. And is it Sveika de Yoma? One day they're separate, and therefore, can I make an Eruv going in one direction on one day, and an Eruv in another direction on the other day? Let's close this. Here we go. Right. Can I make an Eruv on 2 days? Rabbi Yehuda said you can. Chachamim say, Ivsha, you can't, because the 2 days are Yoma Arichta. So now in our Mishnah, we're going to continue that discussion and apply this halacha of the Eruv of the 1 or 2 days of Rosh Hashanah to other halachot. V'od Amar Rabbi Yehuda said, Rabbi Yehuda also said, Matne Adam al kalkala b'yom tov rishon v'ochla b'sheni. I can make matne from a t'nai. T'nai means I can make a condition on my basket on Yom Tov Rishon and eat it on Yom Tov Sheni. What's going on here? Let's look at the Bar Tanura. Says the Bar Tanura, Sal sheyesh bo perot tvalim. I have a basket of fruits that are tevel, i.e. no trumot and masrot were taken off. And you cannot designate trumot and masrot on Yom Tov. Here's our basket. Okay? I have it on Yom Tov Rishon. So what do I do? Matne Allah b'yom Rishon shel Rosh Hashanah v'yomer. I take off, I designate produce, meaning the problem isn't the picking up of the fruit, but I can't be mafresh, I can't fix the fruit. So I do it and say, Ima yom chol, if today is chol, meaning remember the whole idea is seket yomos. If today is a weekday, tehezdo truma alelu, and then I designate this is truma, this, orange or whatever. Vim hayom kodesh im dvarai klum. And if today is Rosh Hashanah, if today is Chag, then what I'm about to say, it means nothing. Why? She'en magbihin truma b'yom tov. Because you're not allowed to designate truma, separate on Yom Tov. Ula machar, and tomorrow omer, and tomorrow I say, the next day do the same thing. Im etmol kodesh v'hayom chol. If today is holy and tomorrow and yesterday was, yesterday was kodesh and today is chol. Tehei zosha amarti etmol truma al elu. Now I'm going to take off truma on this orange, the same thing. Im hayom kodesh. And if today is chag ve'etmol chol, and yesterday was chol, kvar hi truma. And that's already truma. So basically, I have 2 days. I say, listen, I have 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. One of them is chol and one of them is kodesh. So I do the same thing twice. And on one of those days, the truma will be chal. Because remember, Rabbi Yehuda said it's a safek. And therefore, you're allowed to do it. Okay? V'chein, similarly, beitzah shelo daber bishon. If an egg was laid on the first day, te'achel b'sheni, I can eat it on the second day. Why? Beitzah shelo da is literally, there's a halachic category called nolad. Nolad means it's born. Something that didn't exist. I have this egg, and it didn't exist before on Bein HaShemashot, before Yom Tov. Here I'm on the Bein HaShemashot of Chavtet Elul. Anything that doesn't exist when Chag starts, it's muktzah, it's nolad. It didn't exist, so therefore I couldn't have in mind to use it on Chag. So therefore, when the chicken lays the egg, now on Rosh Hashanah, it's muktzah because it didn't exist before, so I couldn't have in mind to use it. So I have to wait until after Chag. Comes on Rabbi Yehuda and says, well, wait, one second. It was laid on Lamud Elul. So if Lamud Elul is Chag, then the next day is not Chag, even though we treat it like Chag only because of Safek Yom. And if Lamud Elul is not Chag, then it's Chol, and you're allowed to use it. Either way, you can use it on Aleph Tishrei. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. Beitzah shelo daber rishon te'achel b'sheni. V'lo dulo chachamim. As we learned in the previous Mishnah, chachamim did not agree. Why did chachamim not agree on Rosh Hashanah? It did kedusha achatein. We learned this term. It's called Yoma Arichta. It's one long day. Because it's Yoma Arichta, that's why on Shnei Yomim Tovim, it's kedusha achat. Okay? Aval, b'Shnei Yomim Tovim shel Galiot. But if it's Yom Tov Sheni of Galiot, chachamim are moded that if your chicken laid an egg on the first day of Pesach in New Jersey, and then the second day of Pesach, because of Sveka de Yoma, it's only Sveka de Yom, the second day of Pesach, you are permitted. Now, the question is nowadays, how would poskim, the problem is, if we really permit this, halachically, in the strict sense, of course it's obvious that in Sveka de Yoma it's permitted. But the question is, it will bring a ziluta, a cheapening of Yom Tov, because if people are sensitive to the fact that it's only Sveka de Yoma, then they wouldn't act in the appropriate in the appropriate kedushat hayom of Yom Tov. But that's a real consideration. There's one more interesting halachic ramification of this idea of Yom Arichta. We're going to see the next Mishnah as well, or a few more. One of them is the recital of Shechianu. You might have noticed that on Rosh Hashanah there's a minhag to eat a new fruit. Why? Because of this exact issue. Because on Rosh Hashanah, the second night is an extension of the first night. It's Yom Arichta. So therefore, even though normally we always say Shechianu on a Chag, you can't say Shechianu on the second day of Rosh Hashanah. It's not Sveka de Yoma. It's Yom Arichta. Whereas in Chutz La'aretz, notice that everything you do on the first day, you'll say Shechianu on the first day of Pesach. You'll also say Shechianu on the second day of Pesach. Since it's all based on Sveikat Yoma, maybe this is the first day of Pesach. We'll stop here. As always, comments or questions, email me at rspolter@gmail.com, and we'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.